I am so pleased to be here with my colleagues to introduce a bill to address surprise medical billing. And the principle that my office has always taken, but I think is the principle which we all embrace, is that the patient should be the reason for the care, not the excuse for a bill. Let me just explain the process. Several months ago, we began to meet with the goal of speaking of price transparency. And as we look for aspects of price transparency to address, this came up logically. We requested information from stakeholders, have received a tremendous amount of feedback from stakeholders, and have incorporated that feedback as our staffs continue to work together to find a place that was fair to all. And let me just say, in fairness to the stakeholders, they all agreed the patient should be held harmless. If you will, not a point of leverage, but rather a reason for the care. Now, our legislation now means that a patient is protected from receiving out-of-network bills in emergencies or when receiving care at in-network facilities. The provider would be paid the difference between a patient's in-network cost sharing and the median or the average in-network rate for their services. But if the provider doesn't like that, then they can go through an arbitration process with the insurer and they work out the differences, but the patient is held harmless. And I like to say, if the principle is that the patient should be the reason for the care, not an excuse for a bill, this legislation takes that principle and turns it into a practice. And that is our aspiration, that is our goal. I think that is what we accomplish. And now I'll turn to my colleague, Michael Bennett.
Thank you, Senator Cassidy. Thank you so much. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for being a doctor and bringing a doctor's perspective